I'm excited for today's video because we are talking all about fall trends. Now, when I say fall trends, I don't necessarily mean specific trending clothing items or what magazines are saying is popular. I'm talking about what's trending in my own specific world. And as always, these videos are always meant to spark your creativity, to get your mind going and help you approach your wardrobe, and just your general overall self-expression from a new lens, a fresh creative angle. And I always like to just throw myself into each season as much as possible and participate and soak in everything it has to offer. And fall, of course, is my favorite season, so there are lots of things I am excited to do and, of course, things I'm excited to wear. I've created a gigantic Pinterest board for you that has all kinds of inspo pics, from photography to fashion to art to makeup. That'll be linked below if you're interested. But specifically for this video, I've kind of broken things into 4 different topics / sections just to better organize my thoughts and to keep everything, as clear and concise as possible. But it's finally September, so I am ready to get into it and talk fall fashion. So for my first trend, I'm calling it vintage Gothic glamour. As always, I'm really inspired by vintage makeup, Gothic alternative makeup, but the urge to do my makeup like that really comes out during the fall time. My Scorpio moon just comes into power and calls all the shots. So that is sort of what I'm embracing, I guess, overall beauty-wise. I really love 1920s beauty. So many interesting hairstyles and makeup choices. And I love anything that is moody and dramatic and theatrical. I'm also really drawn to makeup that is very ethereal. And of course, creative hairstyles that also play into those themes as well. But this trend, of course, extends beyond just beauty and hair. When it comes to clothing and accessories, I've been completely obsessed with anything beaded. I love like really intricate handiwork right now. Things with lace and little details. I love unique and creative and dramatic silhouettes that maybe call back to a certain era that you don't really see in the mainstream as much anymore. I love pieces and silhouettes and makeup looks that are really theatrical and tell a story. And so I want to incorporate a lot of that romance, that drama, that passion, the theatricality, the storytelling into my looks. But I'm feeling overall very inspired by vintage and Gothic sorts of glamour. My next trend I'm calling down the rabbit hole, as in Alice in Wonderland. I do kind of create like a catch-all like this in most of the trend videos I do. There's definitely a lot of overlap. But someone actually commented cloquette is a good name for it as well, which would be clowncore plus coquette, which I actually think perfectly describes what I mean as well. So yes, Alice in Wonderland, down the rabbit hole, cloquette. What do all of these words mean? I'll show you some pictures and I think it'll start to make sense. But kind of tying into what I was just saying with vintage and Gothic glamour is a sense of theatricality and drama in storytelling. I'm all about playful and quirky motifs. I love interesting, beautiful textures. I love florals and checker prints and lace. I love tutus and tulle and stripes, bunny rabbits, desserts, tea sets, anything that can kind of evoke the imagery, like Alice in Wonderland-like themes or circus-like themes, girly, feminine, intricate things, but all of it coming together in a clashy, avant-garde, artistic, theatrical kind of way. And of course, as always, when I film these, I try to embody some of what I'm talking about. So hopefully the vision and what I'm saying comes across. But this is kind of an easy overall way to describe my style generally, I think. But this fall, I really want to lean into the sense of whimsy and having fun with it and just being as creative as I can be and not limiting myself in that way. All in all, it's marrying those vintage inspirations with a fantasy storybook type of romanticism and just playing up certain pieces a little bit more than I normally would. My next trend is pretty straightforward, and we're just going to call that bold graphics and color. Like many others, yes, I am having a brat summer, and I did hear it's demure girl fall now, but I do want to keep some of that brattiness around, and I want to wear a lot of green this fall. And that particular shade of green being everywhere is also kind of inspired me to try out different colors that I normally wouldn't be attracted to. So this fall, I don't want to be shy when it comes to experimenting with color. I mean, I normally am not that shy about it, but I want to go for those shades that I think I'm not supposed to wear or I feel intimidated to try. And I want to pair things together in kooky, crazy ways. I just really want to experiment with color and texture and graphics. And as always, I do have, an alternative flair to my style. So of course that is going to be incorporated into what I'm wearing this fall. But I really want to try out some different shades of blue and red and orange and green, maybe different yellows. I'd love to continue to experiment with my makeup and hair as well. But I think we have this tendency to shift into, we're in fall, so neutrals only. But that's definitely not the case for me. Although I love an all neutral outfit, And I definitely am finding myself gravitating a lot towards neutrals now that we're, officially in September. But there's just something about putting all of it together and that fun, unexpected pop of color in a fall outfit that is really exciting, I think. And you might see that shade all summer, but in a fall outfit, it just completely hits differently. And so I want to experiment with creating those kinds of outfits. So yeah, I really want to try some out there color and pattern combinations and see what I can come up with this fall. I'm calling my final trend witchy/fantasy. And again, pretty straightforward. It's exactly what it sounds like. I'm really drawn to witchy and vampy makeup right now. I'm loving beautiful fantasy inspired hairstyles, different braids and updos. I'm really into different headpieces right now, different unexpected sorts of accessories. I'm very into incorporating interesting textures like pearls or chainmail, metal even. I'm loving tulle and lace and leather, velvet, and I love things too that evoke nature, using things like beetles and butterflies and insects as inspiration, really leaning into the witchiness. And of course, fall time is the perfect time to experiment with those sorts of things. Pretty acceptable this time of year to dress that way. So, if you want to go out wearing like a little devil bonnet, you might not feel as self-conscious. Yeah, Halloween, which is, self-explanatory. But I am really intrigued by the idea of incorporating it, not just as Halloween wear, but day-to-day accessories. All around, I'm really attracted to things that are kind of pretty costume-like. And yeah, I guess that makes sense. But blending that in with real world, practicality. And also my tendency and preference to shop secondhand and vintage whenever I can. So I think all in all, my fall trends could sort of just be simplified to those points. That is all I have for you today. I think I have blabbed sufficiently, but I'd love to hear from you. What are you excited to wear this fall? And what are some of your fall plans? Some things you're looking forward to? I'm going to definitely be going to some haunted houses, some pumpkin patches, the Ren Fair. So lots of fun things on my schedule. I hope you have a wonderful fall season. I hope you're just as excited as I am for the cooler temperatures and the leaves changing and all of that. I've already been indulging in way too much apple cider and donuts, but I can't stop and won't stop. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!